To all of you, myself Dr. Raj Singh, Professor Botany from Maharishi Markandeeswar deemed to University Maulana Ambala. Today we will discuss about the plant growth and development. What is the plant and their reproduction, about their reproduction, mode of reproduction, sexual, asexual, sexual and vegetative reproduction. The basic unit of the reproduction in flowering plant, basically the seed. Seed basically minute structure, a minute reproductive unit of the plant. Seed contain embryo that form into new plants. Seeds can stay dormant for about thousands of years. There are so many examples of seeds recovered from the ancient times, from Egypt's mummy. There are we have recovered some seeds about thousands of years old. Now, still they are active and can reproduce. Favorable conditions or damage to a seed coat start growth. Onset of favorable condition, the dormant seed can germinate and reproduce the new generation in form of the embryo. The some seeds, basically the seed required need light exposure, soil moisture, perfect temperature. Suppose optimum temperature that may be range from maybe 4 degrees centigrade to up to 40 degrees centigrade depending upon the geography. Suppose hilly regions, there may be requirement from chilling temperature, and in desert area may be up to the 45 degrees centigrade, or any environmental changes that can spark rapid growth for the germination and development of the plant. Next, the damage to seed coat through. Seed coat can be removed, or in some cases it has been observed that seed coat can restrict the growth and development of plant. Their scarification, stratification can be done by the following method: fire, passing through the digestive tract of animal. There are some example of animals. Suppose the dodo was the bird which is responsible for the scarification of some seeds, and after the extent of the dodo, all that plant will face the some problems and ultimately damage to the plant. Falling on rock, suppose some hard seed falling on rock and damage the seed coat, and sprout can be start as a new plant. Once the damage is done, the seed must fill up with enough water and oxygen to grow. These are the basic requirement to a seed. Seed must require enough water and oxygen. Monocoat seed growth versus dicot seed growth. In this case, we can observe that the monocoat, suppose the example of wheat, rice, maize, and dicotyledon, the so many pulses, pea, mung bean, urd bean, so many example. In this case, we can observe seed coat, endosperm, single cotyledon. Basically, monocoat is the single cotyledon. These are the leaves, embryonic leaves, embryo. After the germination, a seed give rise to first leaf, plumules, and root from radicals. This is the ultimate third stage of the parallel venation and the adventitious fibrous root. In case of dicot, same the seed coat here, 2 cotyledon is there, but there is a 1 cotyledon. first 2 leaves, endosperm, and after the germination, seed give rise to the plant, some reticulate venation leaves, taproot, root system. This is the all about the monocoat seed and dicot seed germination and starting of the plant life. Seed part. Here we can see that epicotyle, the hypocotyle. Hypocotyle is the junction portion of the shoot and root system. Below the hypocotyle there is a radicle, and above the hypocotyle there is a epicotyle or shoot system. Cotyledon is there, bean seed basically. In this case, corn, suppose monocotyledon seed, corn, grain, caryopsis, basically maize, wheat are basically as fruit, not a seed. These are the fruit because ovary is covered, fruit is covered to the seed. Endosperm, cotyledons, coleoptile, plumules, radicle, and this is the junction portion, epicotyle here also. Chlorhiza. Now, the seed part continue. Which part of seed give rise to which part in at the maturity? Seed coat for protection, basically work as a protection of the seed. Radicle is the embryonic root, plumule is the embryonic leaf, endosperms, nutrition, one cotyledon seed leaves. This is all about the monocotyledon seed. Dicot, seed coat, as usual function to the protect the seed. Radicle give rise to the root, hypocotyle give rise to stem, epicotyle give rise to leaf. There are 2 cotyledons, seed leaves for primary nutrient to embryos, endosperm matured into cotyledons. Now, the fertilization of seedless plant. Zygote develop into sporophyte. Suppose a seedless plant, all cryptogams belong to the bryophyte, pteridophyte, generally seedless plant. In this case, zygote develop a zygote formed with the fusion of the male and female gamete. In this case of bryophyte, there is a antherozoids and egg cells. Spore develop into gametophyte, spore give rise to the gametophyte. Now, the sex organs are, suppose antheridia male represent to the male sex organs, archegonia represent to the female sex organs, male gametes swim to female and formed zygote. After fertilization give rise to the zygote. These are the cryptogamic plant, funaria. In this case, you can see that the funaria plant, this is the capsule, leafy gametophyte. Now spore free out the spore, or spore give rise to the gametophyte, and after the gametophyte give further give rise to gametes, and gametes form the zygote. Further this cycle is continue to start new cycle. Fertilization of gymnosperm. Gymnosperm are the seed. Gymnosperm the group of plant basically bearing the naked seed or seed without the ovary. In this case, immature seed cone female. Suppose in case of pinus, you can see the pinus cone, female cone. Immature seed cone female, pollen cone male, gametophyte male and female and male gametophyte. Suppose female gamete, after fusion give rise to zygote. Pine seed with wing is the zygote sporophyte. Pine seed. Okay, this is about the in the fertilization of pine seed. Megaspore, microspore give rise to megasporophyte, microsporophyte, sperm cells, egg cell. After fertilization give rise to seed, and seed start to another cycle. And here you can see that the end condition to end condition, this is the end condition, haploid condition. Now, the fertilization in angiosperm. Angiosperm is the group of higher plant. Basically, after bryophyte, pteridophyte, gymnosperm, angiosperm is on the top of the all plant groups and represent to the advanced group of plant in consisting dicot and monocoat. Pollen, in this case, you can see that about the life cycle of a typical angiospermic plant. In this case, pollen represent to the male from the anther. Pollen come from the anther, gametophyte, represent to the gametophyte. Ovule from female, from ovary, represent to the female gametophyte. Now, the pollination. Pollination in angiosperm is a very significant, play very significant role. In this case, cell pollination, cross pollination are two means to transfer the pollen from anther to stigma of the female, and after that zygote is formed on the fusion of male and female gametes. Zygote give rise to the seed. Flower become a fruit. Flower become a fruit. In this case, ovary convert into the fruit, and fruit enclose the seeds. In this case, you can see that the suppose we can start here the anther, microspore, end condition, and here is the ovule, stigma, pollen transfer to the stigma of the ovary, stigma, and pollen tube reach to the ovule, and ovule, in the ovule egg fertilized with the male gametes, and further the fertilization. In case of angiosperm, there is the two type of fertilization, a syngamy, triple fusion. Second is a triple fusion. In this case, we can say the double fertilization take place in the angiosperm. Triple fusion give rise to the endosperm, and the syngamy true fusion give rise to the zygote. Endosperm provide the nourishment to the developing embryo in the seed on the germination. This is about the life cycle of the angiospermic plant. Flower part. Now we can say see that the flower consists of the different walls. Petals, suppose the petals attract the pollinators, sepals, androecium, gynoecium. Here the sepal protect the flower. Stamen is the male reproductive organ. Here is the stamen, and stamen consists of the anther, filament, and these part constitute the stamens. Stamen the male reproductive part of the flower. Filament hold anther which contain pollen. Pistil is female organ that has stigma to catch pollen, to send down pollen tube to ovary, ovule. Okay, this is about the position of the different part in the flower. Stigma is the topmost part of the ovary, gynoecium. After that style, then ovary. Ovary consists of ovule. These are the anther which give rise to the pollen. Growing without seed. There are so many plants in angiosperm which can grow without seed. This phenomena of propagation known as vegetative propagation. As compared to reproduction, it can also called vegetative reproduction or vegetative propagation, and occur with root system or leaves. Help allow plant to cover area faster. Hundreds and thousands form one single plant. For example, include runners, Bermuda grass, bulb, onion or tulips, corm, gladiolus in case of gladiolus, rhizome in case of fern or in case of ginger, tuber in case of potato. These are the some crop or crop plant which grow vegetatively. Sugar beet also include in this category, sugar beet. Banana also reproduce with the runner or tiller of the banana. These are the example. Runner. This is the common weed. Propagate, suppose cyanodon grass, which give rise to new plant with the runner, horizontal above the ground stem that help the plant spread within an area. Mint also is the example of runner. Mint plant also produce vegetatively with the help of runner. Bulb is the example of vegetative propagation. In this case, we can see that the bulb, the form of bulb germinate and give rise to the shoot system, ultimately the flower, the tulip, the very fascinating flowers. Bulb. Also onion also grow with the help of bulbs. Onion bulb, which can be used by as a salad bulb, onion bulb can be used to propagate the next plant. Corm. In case of gladiolus, a flowering plant reproduce vegetatively from the corm. This is the baby corm, reproduce from the main corm known as cormales. Fibrous root, old corm, this is the old corm, give rise to new baby corm. These on mature give rise to the new plant. This is about the gladiolus, very short, thick underground stem with thinny scaly leaves. Okay. Rhizome. In case of bamboo, in case of ginger, rhizome can give rise to the new plant. This is the mode of vegetative reproduction in vegetative propagated crop, ginger, bamboo, dendrocalamus, etc. All these crop propagated with the rhizome. This is the example of tuber. Tuber in case of potato tuber. Potato crop basically grow, develop with the help of tuber. Potato tuber sowing in the field and give rise to the new crop. Okay, this is about all the presentation. Thank you. This is about all about the reproduction in all the plant reproduction in plant, including bryophyte, pteridophyte, gymnosperm, angiosperm, sexual reproduction, asexual reproduction, and vegetative propagation. Thank you. Thank you to all of you. Okay.